gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. When it comes to night vision, there are a few different ways to set it up. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing what a basic setup should look like. As always, if you like what you see, leave a like and subscribe. It's free and it helps keep content like this coming in the future. Now, night vision. Full disclosure, we will not be talking about any sorts of tactics or housings or tube specs or phosphorus types. This is meant to be a video on a basic understanding of a night vision setup, and we'll save those topics for a later date, but I hope this video provides you guys with the right information that you need. So to start off with, we're going to be talking about your three different types of night vision devices, and those are going to be your monoculars, your duals, and your panoramics. The most widely recognized night vision device is the PVS15. It is a single monocular that goes over one eye, and it's widely issued amongst military and law enforcement agencies. PVS14 can be configured to different specifications or different phosphorus types, depending on who you buy from. And the price point ranges from relatively cheap, so I want to say around $1,000 to $2,000. Or if you're looking to shill out the money, you're looking for a L3 filmless white phos PVS14, you're looking at a price point of around $2.8 to maybe $3.5 thousand. So it really depends on what you need or if you want to go the monocular route. A downside of using monoculars, and I can speak from being issued PVS14s in the military, is that your depth perception is horribly off. Some people say to walk around with night vision on, but a lot of people are going to have difficulty concentrating on just the one image imposed in their brain. There's some wacky science to it. It's definitely not my thing, but if you're looking for a good way to get into it, aka a gateway drug, the PVS14 is for you. Binos or binocular night vision use two tubes. What this does, it gives you a bit of a wider field of view, and it's much easier on your brain because both of your eyes are seeing the same image. And it also helps improve your situational awareness, while at the same time, you can wear them much more comfortably for much longer durations. Some of the downsides, however, are that binos are definitely a little bit more expensive than binoculars. For a starter pair, you're looking at least 5 to 6K, and if you want to go bougie, you're looking at least 13 for a pair of PVS31s. And also, binos are a bit heavier, so you'll have to look into a couple more advanced ways to counteract that weight in the front. Last and least, panoramic night vision.
Bravo 6, going dark.
We've all seen it in video games like Call of Duty and Ghost Recon, and mounted on the helmets of a lot of airsofters out there. And while devices like your GPN VG18s will have a much wider field of view than any monoculars or duals out there, the pros do outweigh the cons. For starters, panoramic night vision is extremely heavy. You already have a heavy device in the front and a battery pack in the back, and you're still going to need weight to balance all that out. So unless if you're comfortable going for a long distance with all that weight sitting on your fragile little neck and spine, which I'm not crazy, it makes panoramic night vision extremely impractical for long range applications. In addition to that, if you have the $42,000 sitting around to spend on that, which I doubt any of you do, you're much better off putting that money towards something more useful like ammunition. With that out of the way, let's go over what a basic setup should look like. And that's limited. With that out of the way, let's go over what a basic setup should look like. And that's including but not limited to the device itself, mounts, a mounting platform, lights, and counterweights if applicable. And I've designed this to be as minimalistic as possible while still giving you guys pertinent information. We will be revisiting a helmet video later, but that is another topic for another time, so stay tuned for that one. So, devices. The night vision I'm using currently are the PVS15s from L3, formerly known as Litton Industries. And PVS15s were issued alongside ANVIS 6 and ANVIS 9 night vision goggles during the Global War on Terror, and they saw extensive use amongst US SOCOM and many supporting units. While the PVS15s are a much heavier system compared to today's modern units, they do make up for being heavy by being extremely tough and durable. And I've dropped these before. I have gone prone with these during IMTs, and these have held up great, and the image is as clear as daylight. Now, it's not nearly as modern, but at the same time, some devices age like fine wine, and the PVS15s were just one of them. In any case, while not as great as other contemporary options, the PVS15s did set the standard for what a good pair of dual night vision goggles should look like, and they do have a pretty competitive price point compared to others. I picked mine up at $4,500, and I can firmly attest that I am getting what I paid for. So if you can, get out there and find yourself a pair of PVS15s and see where the road takes you. Next up is mounts, and there are two different types of mounts. There are dovetail ones, such as this Wilcox G24, and there are non-dovetail, like the Naruto's Rhino mounts issued by the US military. And if I had to pick a choice between the two, I would say go with a dovetail mount, because they are generally just much more reliable and much better constructed. That being said, however, picture this. You've just spent a lot of money on your nice new night vision, your nice new helmet, your nice new accessories to go with it, and you think, man, I'm really low on money. So you go on Amazon and search up night vision mount, and you see all these different options, different clones of this, ranging from 20 to 50 bucks. And you'll say, wow, I guess I spent all my money on this super nice night vision, so I'll cheap out on the mount. What could go wrong? Fast forward to the mount just absolutely wetting the bed, and now it's on the floor. Now your night vision's on the floor and it's broken, and you're sad because you're out a lot of money. So don't be cheaping out on your night vision mounts. If anything, if you do not want to pay the price of a Wilcox, which runs at a retail of about $500, you can go with something a bit cheaper, like this LW NVM from Argus. It is an exact one-to-one clone of the G24 at a fraction of the price, and it does perform just as good. We'll release a video talking about these later. Another thing on this list is platforms, and there are two different ways you can mount night vision on your head. The first being the Skull Crusher, which is your average minimalistic piece of equipment designed to just put on your head and run your night vision off of that. And while it is extremely convenient and small, it does get uncomfortable over time, hence the name. The other option is to run a helmet, such as a bump or a ballistic. I won't go over the pros and cons of each because we've already covered those in the channel. So the only thing that I will tell you is that weight and protection are the only things that matter when choosing between those two. The platform I am running currently is my tried and true OpsCore Fast, and this helmet in particular allows me to have ample protection while still being relatively lightweight. Nice thing about OpsCore helmets is that they have a metal shroud, which allows for stable mounting of different night vision mounts, and it has these bungees on either side that can lock into points on the night vision device being used to stabilize it and keep them from wobbling. As far as retention goes, I have a simple piece of 550 cord, so if my night vision should ever come off my mount while I'm moving and my bungees aren't on, it'll just catch it and keep it from dangling and hitting the ground and potentially breaking. Now, there are a couple other options out there. I'd recommend checking out T-Rex Arms. They do make a decent night vision retention device, but get out there and find what works for you. In terms of lights, there are several different kinds of lights that you can choose from, whether that be a mini Surefire, mini rifle light, or even an X300, to a more dedicated task light, or ones that are just designed to be mounted on a helmet. I am a big fan of Princeton Tech and the lights they make. I am currently running their MPLS Charge. And the MPLS Charge does sit nice and close to the helmet and doesn't stick out like the former version, and it gives me both red and white light capability. But a nice thing to note is that if I press and hold this down, as you can see on screen, there is a IR flood version as well. And what's also nice about this is that I can move its head on the stock to either focus it on something that I'm looking at or moving it out of the way. Now, some of you might ask, why do you need an IR light mounted on your helmet? Well, it's just a matter of whether you want to be seen or not. Because if you use just a generic white light to see everything in the dark, other men can see you, and that's gay. Last but not least, we'll be talking about counterweights and to a lesser extent strobes. The counterweight I'm using currently is another OpsCore product. This is their normal counterweight that they've been selling for a while now, and it is an excellent piece of equipment. So what it consists of is a couple pieces. There are two that mount to the helmet's bolts itself, and then on the inside, in the middle part, there are these elastic cells. And what I like to do is I like to use just two of the lead weights that they have, because if I use any more, then the helmet does get heavier and it starts to tilt back, and it really upsets the balance. So I only use two of these for actual weights. Sometimes I'll stuff batteries in the other two depending on what I'm doing. And then this middle one I save for cable management for my contacts. And what's nice about these is that these serve multiple different purposes. So if you're not using a dual tube system like me, and are instead using something like a monocular, you will still benefit from using a counterweight pouch because it's meant to counterbalance all that weight that's in the front. far as strobes go, this is an S&S Precision Manta. There's not much about it other than that it is a bright strobe, and I'm not currently using any drones, or I don't have any friends with drones, but it is an extremely bright little signal, so it's definitely good for use like on night ranges, which I go to a lot, or if I just want to be a nuisance in general to other people being nods. Don't do that. That's not cool, because then it blinds people and then they'll get pissed off at you and you might have to run. And that's it. Night vision is an extremely cool product, and it's an even cooler superpower to have when you can afford it. I would definitely recommend getting your hands on night vision if you're getting just tired and sick of building average rifles every single day. Maybe sell some of those and save some of your money up so you can buy a monocular, or even better, duals. And then you can go and practice on night vision builds, which again, that's another video for another time, and we will be visiting more night vision related products in the future. But as always, you can have all the coolest gear in the world, but none of it will matter if you don't train with it. Because as we speak right now, there are a lot of situations across the world, especially in Ukraine, that involve night vision and thermals and ways to counter and defeat them. So get out there and get some training in. Just enjoy looking at the stars for me. And that's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.